let's make the lettering bold, and let's make it a 12 point. Notice the text no longer fits on one label. A second label appears, and this won't work. So how would you fix this? We could try shrinking the graphics, because it appears that it's running into this graphics. So let's shrink this down, and it does in fact correct the problem, and we'll move the graphics a little more in the center. Let's replace the name. I'll double click on name with the appropriate name that you want to use. I'm going to go with Remington Steele. Remington Steele lives on 77 Sunset Strip. Better make that a capital. And I'm going to hold down the shift key and go across, or you can just hold down the left cursor key and slide across, and put in the city. Hollywood, of course. California at 90210. Notice the page layout shows a blue label. This is where the printing starts. Printing moves left to right and down the page. There are 30 labels on this page. Under quantity, the number on page default value indicates 30. The total labels on the page and the number that will be printed. Change the value to 15 and only the top half of the sheet will be printed. Or select Fill Entire Sheet to print 30 labels. Click Next and then Print Preview. Notice it takes a while, and eventually the label sheet appears. Notice the graphic appeared and quickly disappeared. It's because this view is reduced, so click on 100% to zoom out. The graphic appears, but you barely see the top of the zip code, which has been pushed to the next line. So we need to click Close Print Preview and go back to the editing page. This looks okay, but there is a problem. Notice the left indent mark and the right indent mark. The right indent is forcing the zip code to be pushed to the line below. So we need to adjust the indent to the right. You can do this by left clicking and dragging, or if you double click, you'll see a lot of details for both indents and spacing, line and page breaks. Here's the right indent. We want to actually reduce it. We'll go down to a 0.5. This implies that the right indent should be a half an inch from the right, therefore adjusting it over to the right. Click OK, and you'll notice now it's moved. So let's go to the print preview and see if this fixed our problem. Okay, Now the graphic has disappeared again, so we're going to zoom in 100%, and the zip code is present. Everything looks correct now. 2 points to remember. What you see is not always what you get when Avery Wizard passes the parameters to Microsoft Word. You can control the top and bottom margins and left and right margins and indents. Click Close Preview and click Finish. This turns and burns until the page appears in Microsoft Word with the labels and the margins outlined in blue. And this is the lower half of the page, and notice here the graphic appears, but it wasn't on the top half. However, when you refresh the screen by going back up, everything does appear correct. Now you are out of the Avery Wizard, but you can still edit this document using Microsoft Word tools. You can click on the Select All box, and for example, you can click Italic or Underline. You can change the color of the font. You can highlight, or you can undo everything that you've just completed. If these labels are needed in the future, I suggest you save them. Click File, Save As, go to Documents, My Documents, and create a new folder. Here's a new folder that we will rename Avery Labels. Double click on the Avery Labels. So here we are under My Documents and Avery Labels, and we need to create a file name. I would name the file in detail so that you can easily find it in a list with others. Let's go with Avery address 5160 Remington Steel. Click Save. Now you're ready to print, and you would select File and Print. Until you're confident, I would print on a plain sheet of paper first and then insert the Avery sheet. Before you print anything, view my next video for printing tips.